My name is Jamil Jivani. I studied international development and nonprofit management as my honors BA. I had below a 60 average in grade 12, so I couldn't get into any school except for a community college. So I actually went to Humber College for a year first. They have a transfer program, and when I finished at Humber College, I did very well, and that's kind of where I started hitting my stride a bit. And so I chose to go to York because York kind of feels like the New York City of universities in Ontario. It's huge, it has everything, and it has everybody. My first year at York, I did no extracurriculars at all. And so when I finished, I decided, I really needed to make some more out of my 4 years. I couldn't just do classwork the whole time. So my first thing I got involved in was called the University Tribunal, which is with the Office of Student Conduct and Dispute Resolution. The job is you sit on a panel that, on a case-by-case basis, tries to reinforce the student code of conduct. And I enjoyed it a lot because it was, I was attracted to it because when I was in high school, I was on the receiving end of the student code of conduct. So the opportunity to kind of be on the other side was very attractive to me. And what you wind up getting is this sense that you are, shaping the university you live in, because your decisions are impacting your colleagues as students, and the decisions you're making are impacting, the rules that govern the place. So for me, when I got started in that opened up a whole new world to me, and I got involved in Model United Nations in my second year. I became a student counselor for the Student Council for Faculty of Liberal Arts and Professional Studies. And then I wound up getting involved in the International Development Association, which is the International Development Studies student group. So, once I got involved in one thing, a whole bunch of other things came out. And what you kind of get to do in all of these positions is you get some sense of responsibility. You get to work with people, and you wind up, learning a whole bunch of, managerial and strategic skills that you would not have learned otherwise. My summer employment in this year has, still continuing my experiences at York in a way, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm working for a Toronto-based consulting company right now. I started there immediately after I finished at York. And it's actually a job that I got through through professors that I was close to at York. We work on a bunch of different projects. Basically, the idea is, as a consulting company, your job is to make companies perform at a better capacity. And so that's what I've been doing for the last 3 months. And in doing that, I'm also preparing to move to New Haven, Connecticut, where I'll be attending Yale Law School. Graduate school was not really on my radar. I was more so concerned just getting through. But then, as you start to gain momentum as an undergrad, your vision for your future starts to open up a lot more. And so by the time I got into my 4th year at York, I knew I wanted to go to law school, and I knew I wanted to go to an Ivy League school in the US. And it was, the people at York believing in me and giving me opportunities for 4 years that really fostered that sense of ambition in me. Before that, I didn't have it. So I'm really thankful for the people around me who kept giving me chances and encouragement. And so, and it was York professors who wrote my recommendation letters. And so, yeah, York really molded me and molded that ambition in me. And so by the time I finished at York, now that I'm going to, the #1 ranked law school in the world, I'm very confident, by this point. And so to go from not ever thinking about it to being confident you can do well, that's a big transition. And I'm very, very happy to be able to leave here with that level of confidence. My future is going to be more directed based on, objectives than careers. There are certain things that I want to achieve. I would like to contribute to making, the multicultural fabric of Toronto more powerful, because I think there's a lot of power here that can shape and mold policies around the world that can make our city and our country, by extension, a huge powerhouse in coming up with complex solutions to complex problems. I'd like to continue my work with Kenyan youth, mostly because that's part of who I am. And so that's another thing that I want to do. So being involved in the nonprofit sector to a certain point is big for me. I likely see myself getting into public service in Canada at some point. I will spend some time in the US for sure, but I see myself coming back here sooner rather than later and getting involved in public service. And if that means government or nonprofit work, I don't know, but I do care about this country a lot, and so I do see myself being back here and hoping to kind of continue making it what I think it can be.